Welcome, everyone. This is truly a great day. Prince William County, its heritage, is really rooted in the United States military. From the battlefield of Manassas in Prince William County, and we go forward then in time, after the war, Prince William remained relatively ungrowing until the Vietnam War came, and families, many of you here today, began flowing into Prince William County, active duty and veterans, to be housed here, and we're grateful to have you all here. You built this community starting in the 1960s, and it has grown markedly, and it has built, you have built what Prince William is today. So at this time, I would like all veterans in the audience to please stand and be recognized for your service to our country. It is probably not well known that Prince William County has been working on this project for upwards of 10 years. At the very beginnings, we have with us Ms. Linda Decker with the Flory Center, who contributes some of the root funding for this, and those who had vision. And I do want to recognize Ms. Kathleen Seefeld when she was chairman of the Board of Supervisors, when all this really got started. Good things take time, and it takes a visionary to look forward and get the seed planted early. Marshal Leotate, a famous French marshal, went out to his gardener and asked him to plant a tree. And the gardener looked at him and says, "Why plant it? It won't flower for 100 years. In that case, the marshal said, "Plant it this afternoon." That's what we have done. That's what we did. And that's what a former Board of County Supervisors with Ms. Seefeld as chairman, and with Mr. Jenkins and Ms. Cadigan early on started laying the seeds of this. I would be remiss without mentioning also that we almost lost the museum. Some of the ground that we looked for early on was eventually deemed to be unsuitable for the museum, and we needed to look around. And so did the museum. The museum was forced to look for other locations. We almost lost the museum as late as last year to a neighboring county. We started looking around and we asked county staff, where else could we possibly put this museum? We looked at county-owned property. It simply wasn't available, no suitable land. And then Mr. Jenkins. I went to Mr. Jenkins, and he's the senior member of the board. And I said, well, what can we do? And he goes, well, let me ask some of my good friends. And he's got a lot of them. You know, every time we go out for lunch, it's actually dinner, between our afternoon and our evening sessions of the Board of County Supervisors, we go to a local restaurant, and every single time, no matter which restaurant it is, and I keep choosing different restaurants to test the theory that Mr. Jenkins knows everybody in Prince William County. So we finally went, I found a place and thought, well, there's no way, it's a small, new restaurant. There's hardly anybody there yet, that people haven't discovered it. There's a place called Masala out near Potomac Mills, and I said, there's no way that he's going to know somebody there. So we went there, and there was one person in the restaurant. So we walked into the restaurant, and I was smiling, and we sat down, and the woman gets up, and she comes over and says, "Hello, Mr. Jenkins." It's the same restaurant. Miss Cadigan, the waiter came to Miss Cadigan and asked Miss Cadigan what she would like for dinner, and she said, "Well, I'll have the steak." And the waiter asked Miss Cadigan, "Well, what would you like? What about the vegetables?" And she goes, "Well, they'll have the steak too." True story. Well, all that is a long way of saying that Mr. Jenkins did go out and he did find a suitable piece of property. There's a family in Prince William County, and I know you're all very familiar with them. Their name is on the Potomac Hospital, a wing of the Potomac Hospital. Their name is on the Hilton Performing Arts Center, which we will open next month. They have also given contributions that you don't hear about, where their names are not on them. The 9/11 memorial out here was made possible because of this family. The incredible generosity of this family in donating 70 acres of prime commercial property on I-95 and Dale Boulevard to make this museum possible. And as I announced the creation of the museum and the location of the museum, I first want everyone to please stand and give a round of applause to the Hilton family, recognized here today by Mr. Donnie Hilton. It is my pleasure to announce today the location of the Wartime Museum, Museum of Americans in Wartime, to be located here in Prince William County at the interchange of I-95 and Dale Boulevard.